Hi there, I'm Azara Tagaya and you're watching Ringgit Sense, the show where we talk about personal finance. This week, we take on the topic of retirement. Now, for our younger viewers, with your whole lives ahead of you, retirement may not be something that you would think about. However, many of us often say that we would want to retire young, but do you know how much you actually need? And what are your biggest expenses when you retire? Well, today we have with us in the studio Annie Hoare, a licensed financial advisor, to help you prepare for your retirement. Hi, Annie.
Hi, Azara.
Hi, thank you for joining us again on Ringgit Sense. Nice to see you again.
Yep.
Okay, so talking about retirement and how much you actually need, how do you really calculate how much you need for your retirement?
Okay, I think first of all is to establish what are the expenses you need when you retire. Because what you spend today may not be something that you might use when you retire. For example, your housing loan. You know, I'm assuming that ideally people should clear off their housing loan before they retire. And for example, children expenses make a big bulk of the expenses today. And that would mean that children will not be financially dependent on you by then. So that after taking out those figures, then assuming, let's say, give an example, someone who needs 4,000 today, 4,000 ringgit today, and given a retirement age at 55 years old, and so that's about, let's say this person is about 25 years old right now, so that's about 30 years. So given an inflation of 5%, these people would need about 5.175 million when they retire. Yeah, sounds a lot, right?
Okay, so married couples, should they save together for their retirement?
They should, because what we advise couples is that ideally they should put in their resources together to save towards their retirement at the end of the day, right? So apart from their EPF, they also should depend on their savings, all right, or investments to actually give them a better return at the end of the day, a better, healthier retirement figure at the end of the day.
Okay, what about people who always say, I want to retire young, so you should have double that amount?
When you retire young, you need to know what is that age you want to retire. People say they want to retire young. When I ask them, retire young means what? They say 30. I said, but you're 25. That's 5 years to go. But what are you going to do when you retire? So, or is it 40 or is it 50? They need to know what is the time horizon that they have. So given that time horizon, then we can plan towards their goal. Yeah, so not just saying, I want to retire young, but exactly when do you want to retire? And how much do you need when you retire?
Okay, so in terms of financial safety when we actually reach the retirement age, are our EPF savings enough?
Unfortunately, no, because most of the time after doing a calculation for the clients, EPF just gives you about 30% of your whole retirement. So, for example, this couple who has the take-home pay is about 8,000, so combined to 8,000. So, if we do a calculation with their EPF and assuming that they have a flat 23% towards 8,000 for the next 30 years, for example, they would safely have about 1.5 million. And that's 30% of that 5 million that they need to retire. So that's assuming that they do not take out for housing loan, education, and etc. And they just save that for retirement. So that is about 30% of what they need when they actually retire. So ideally, they should start saving or putting aside something like a 10%. I always say minimum 10% should go into either savings or investment, better investment because it gives you a higher return. And when you do that, we also did a calculation that if you do 800 for the next 30 years at something that gives you about 8%, you would have another 1 million. So 1 million together with your EPF 1.5 million, that would take care about 50% of your retirement. So another 50% we need to sit down and then discuss on how to reach there. But at least you have 50% rather than just 30 or none.
Okay, so assuming you already have like a fixed savings account or a retirement fund, so what should you do with the bulk of money from your EPF when you draw it out?
When you retire, for example? Actually, a lot of people tend to think that when retirement, they should draw out everything from the EPF. So on a contrarian perspective, I would say, why do you need to take out from your EPF? Because you could
you can.
Because you can, yes, exactly, because you can. Unless you can manage it well, and you know how to manage it well, I I would say otherwise, don't take it out. Just maintain it there. And EPF gives you a healthy 5 to 6% kind of dividend, and you can actually extract that dividend and supplement that as your retirement income while maintaining the big bulk of your capital inside there. So because sometimes when people take out, I notice that either they spend it, okay, subconsciously or consciously they spend it, or second thing is that they put it in the fixed deposit, which yields you 2% lesser, for example. So hence, we would say, if you know how to manage it, don't take it out. Yeah, if you know how to manage it, you can take out and invest it in a proper investment. Yeah.
So now we're going to go back to the topic that we talked about the last time you were here, which is saving money.
Yes.
How do you actually save money? It's the most difficult thing to do these days.
I think it's a habit that I always tell people to advise them to actually say set minimum 10%. No matter what your take-home pay is, set aside 10%, so that with that 10% you can either put in an investment that yields you, your desired return 8, 5 or 10%, depending on what your risk appetite is. So set a habit, minimum 10%.
Okay, so what would be the biggest cost once you retire?
As you grow older, health is always one of the key problems that people have, all right? Whether it's medicine or surgical or hospitalization bills. So
will insurance take care of that?
If you have your own medical insurance, yes. So it's important that people start planning for their medical right now when they're young and healthy and when they're insurable.
So some valid advice there from Annie. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Sorry we don't have enough time to go through more tips. Hopefully we'll see you again next time.
Right, thank you.
Well, guys, hopefully you've learned a lot from our discussion with Annie Hoare, our licensed financial advisor, about how to help you prepare for your retirement. Now, Ringgit Sense is taking a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about starting a business and how you can prepare for that when Ringgit Sense continues. You're still with me, Azara Tagaya, on Ringgit Sense, the show where we talk about personal finance. Now, starting a business is not an easy feat, as the learning curve will be steep, especially if you've never done it before. What's more, if you're doing it with other partners, how do you work hand in hand together? We met up with 3 ladies who started a unique baking business together and have managed to expand and grow in a matter of less than 2 years. But believe it or not, they've yet to spend a single cent on advertising or paid promotion. Now here's the story of Lacto Mama.
Lacto Mama, which found its beginnings in late 2016, is a company that produces nutritional lactation cookies that can help boost milk supply for breastfeeding mothers.
I was playing around with a lot of things that can help induce lactation to help myself breastfeed my adopted girl. So from there, we came up with a way to make lactation goods delicious. I was working for a company, and then I decided to start my own business because I wanted to be home more with the family more. So I tried my hand in business.
Aisha Wahab got the idea to launch Lacto Mama in late 2016 with 2 of her close friends, Lenny Farah and Hazi Moktazar. But this isn't the first time Aisha has tried her hands at business. Her first foray was opening a baking supply shop a few years previous, but that didn't go too well. From there, she saw an opportunity to try something new.
So hence this little business that we have right now, because the ingredients was there, the facilities was there. So that's why I started doing cookies bit by bit and brought them in, like drag them into the business as well.
I think in a way it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise.
Because it was actually a baking supply shop at the front.
Yes.
And then there's like a mini bake house
in the back.
At the back. So that's how we actually started.
With our small central kitchen behind.
Yes.
In the beginning, the 3 of them were able to produce 200 to 300 jars per month. Fast forward to 2018, production has grown to around 3,000 to 4,000 jars per month. The ladies are always testing and creating new and exciting flavors. One of those is dates and goat's milk, which is popular among Muslim customers. They've also gotten favorable reviews from customers concerning other creations, including the indulgent variant, as well as seasonal cookies. And just in case you're wondering, the cookies are not just for breastfeeding mothers. According to the ladies, milk booster cookies are safe to be consumed by all. It can be sort of an energy booster or simply as a snack.
I think the biggest challenge for me was probably the decision-making process, because you're making a decision that kind of affects your partners, your entire company, and also I think money-wise, spending a big amount at one time for your baking supplies, for your appliances, whatever it is. That was the biggest, like, am I doing this? Am I doing this right? Am I like wasting money? Am I not? So that was, I think, the biggest challenge.
So far, the brand has yet to spend a single cent on advertising or paid promotion. But their products have been very much sought after, and numerous celebrities and social media personalities vouch for the brand. How do they do it?
To be honest, we did not have any budget or whatsoever to be put into marketing or promotion, because everything went into making the product, and we could have, I know a lot of people say, we've got a lot of celebrities' reviews on our products, but we did not pay a single cent because we don't believe in paid reviews.
True.
We've always believed that, if someone is going to talk about it and give out, good points about it, it's going to be honest.
The girls tell us that they can go through more than 40 test batches for cookies every time they want to create a new flavor. The trio are so hands-on that one of the challenges they faced as the business expanded was letting go of absolute control over the product itself so that they could each concentrate on other aspects of the business.
Now that you have your own company, you actually hire other people. And before this, you were the hired help, So now you have to understand them and try to give them, understand them. I think that's one. Patience and compromising with my partners, because we're all very strong characters. The ability to let go and delegate, that is the biggest thing that we've learned so far, because initially when we first hired someone, it was like, she's not scooping the cookies right. She's not doing this right. It's so hard for us to let go. But this year we're so proud to say that we have been able to delegate and let go and be able to see the company grow as a bigger picture instead of micromanaging. So that is.
Well, at the very beginning, we're very hands-on.
Yeah, we're very hands-on. That is one part that we cannot let go.
Yes.
We are very proud of our product, and we want people to listen, to hear about our product firsthand, so that the people who educate them is ourselves.
Because I think that Expo is actually a platform for us to actually communicate directly with our customers. Yeah. Because the first and the most important questions that we usually get asked about is how come this product
can help produce milk.
So that's where we come in as the owners of the product. We go and tell them directly, like, this is what we put in, this is why it works, this is how you take it. So I think that's like one of our biggest and most important way of communicating. I mean, aside from social media. Like Tonton, we would like to see like Tonton expand more when it comes to distribution. So we have a few countries under our belt right now. So we have Indonesia, we have Brunei, and we have Singapore. So we would like to have a production place, bake house actually in the country.
In every country.
So, yeah, I think that's where we would like to see like Tonton in 5 years.
So what's their secret to working well in a partnership?
For me, I have tried venturing into business on my own, and I've tried with partners. I think it's crucial for you to get the right partners that can not only goes along with you, but you have to like butt heads sometimes. So in a way that kind of teaches you to go out from your comfort zone, and then it helps bounce ideas. So like you guys help each other out. So. But when it comes to partnership, it's important to compromise with each other. I think that's what I learned most within these partnerships, is that we learn to balance off each other's flaws.
Welcome back to Ringgit Sense. You're still with me, Azaria Tagaya. Many of you who have your regular salaried jobs may be dreaming of starting your own business, but are asking yourself, how do you get started? Do you leave your job straight away or start part-time? And how do you save up for your initial capital? Well, we met with a financial coach who calls himself the money mechanic, or Abang Abu, to ask him for some tips on starting a business.
For those eager on gaining knowledge on how to help multiply their wealth, chances are you've come across the name Abang Abu at some point of your search. This SPM graduate started off with very little and was faced with hardships in the early stages, but has now risen to become an acclaimed businessman himself and is now a sought-after name in the financial seminar circuit. He calls himself Abang Abu Mechanic Wang, or the Money Mechanic, and keeping up with the persona, his talks have titles like The Financial Garage, and he often uses the science of automobiles, engines, and tools as some of his metaphors. Remember the best friends who started a baking business in our previous story? Well, we came to Abang Abu for some advice. What if you wanted to start a business just like that? What would you need to do to start off? Here's what he has to say.
First thing, dia kena senyum banyak. Sebab dalam perniagaan ni dia bukan macam orang tak cakap perniagaan ni senang dan sebagainya. Perniagaan ni lah satu benda yang perlu kita meletakkan banyak attitude kita, dari segi semangat kita, dari segi usaha kita dan banyak benda ni. Kalau kita tak ada benda-benda ni, sebenarnya apa pun kita buat sukar. Dia kadang-kadang orang ingat ni duit yang menjadikan sektor perniagaan tu berjaya dan sebagainya. Tapi pada saya duit adalah secondary. Apa yang utama adalah minat yang mendalam, satu purpose yang mendalam, satu passion terhadap benda yang dibuat, satu keinginan yang tinggi. Benda-benda ni kalau ada, duit ni senang sikit. Jadi duit ni adalah yang kedua. Tapi yang pertama ni, ada tak inti-inti seperti ini sebelum kita nak berniaga? Itu soalan yang pertama kita tanya, sebab nak berniaga ni bukan seperti macam kita start terus jadi. Berniaga ni ada pelbagai. Tapi at the same time, berniaga ni bukanlah susah. Sebab kalau susah, mesti tak ada orang yang berjaya dalam perniagaan. Maksudnya ada benda yang patut kita lakukan secara betul untuk kita mencapai kejayaan dalam perniagaan. Jadi advice saya, cari minat kita, sama ada kita berniaga ni untuk apa? Apa sebab dia kita nak berniaga? Sebab tanpa sebab yang kuat, kita tak boleh mengharungi sebarang dugaan, ujian dan juga cabaran yang akan datang dalam perniagaan. Pada saya, cari kenapa kita nak berniaga, apa sebab nak berniaga adalah yang pertama sekali. Kemudian barulah kita pergi pada kos dan sebagainya.
Abang Abu advises aspiring entrepreneurs to take it slow, especially if they're thinking of quitting their day jobs to start their first business.
Dia macam ini, dia tak bolehlah macam itu. Dia tengok keadaan kita. Kalaulah kita ada komitmen yang banyak, takkan kita nak stop terus. Itu kadang-kadang orang buat juga kesilapan macam itu. Itu adalah satu kesilapan yang teruk pada saya. Tapi kalau mungkin kita ni anak muda, baru umur kita 25, 24, yang kita tak ada apa-apa komitmen, ya itu mungkin satu jalan yang baik. Tapi kalau kita sudah berumah tangga, kita mempunyai komitmen dan sebagainya, kita perlu melihat apakah komitmen kita. Adakah, sebab dalam meniaga ni, dia bukan meniaga hari ni, besok tu kita dapat duit gaji kita. Kadang-kadang tak dapat untuk sebulan, 2 bulan, 3 bulan, 4 bulan. Ada yang sampai 6 sampai setahun pun kadang-kadang mungkin. Jadi kita kena tanya dulu sama ada sudahkah kita mempunyai persediaan, persimpanan dan sebagainya untuk memulakannya. Jadi jangan kita mulakan dengan terus berhenti tanpa kita mengira apa yang aku nak simpan. Sekurang-kurangnya 3 bulan perbelanjaan kita, 6 bulan perbelanjaan kita. Jadi kita mula ada target. Dan bila kita ada target, senang untuk kita simpan. Tapi ramai orang ni, dia tak ada target dan dia dapat, dia belanja dulu. Dah belanja-belanja pun nak simpan. Biasanya dah belanja, dah tak ada duit nak simpan. Right? Itu kesilapan. Jadi pada saya untuk mengubah ni, bila kita dapat je duit, mengikut komitmen kita, usia kita dan sebagainya, kita mula simpan dulu. Dia ada 3 level tau. One is like, kita panggil dia wealth sweep. Maksudnya duit datang, kita sweep je 15%, 18% ke satu tempat ni. Kemudian baru kita ada living punya benda. untuk kita nak live dan sebagainya. Dan kemudian barulah kita wealth creation punya generation. So dia ada 3 level. Pada saya yang first ni 15 ketepikan, 15 ke 18 ke ikut like kita punya kemampuan. Kemudian kita ada untuk perbelanjaan kita, komitmen kita dan sebagainya. Dan akhir sekali untuk wealth creation kita yang juga boleh digunakan untuk kita melabur dalam bisnes dan sebagainya. Jadi pada bambu, simpan dulu. Kita juga adakan perancangan perbelanjaan mingguan contohnya. Minggu ni aku nak masak ni. Kita dah siap dah macam menu kat hotel. Kalau macam itu dalam RM50, boleh dah settle semua satu minggu. Tapi kalau tak ada, kadang-kadang satu hari RM50 pun tak cukup. Itu contohnya. Kemudian kita ada hari tak berbelanja. Contohnya, like kalau setiap hari kita memang belanja RM20 ikut kita punya, satu hari tu memang RM20 tak belanja, kita simpan. Alright, kita boleh tax diri kita sendiri. Kalau kita hari ni dah memang plan belanja RM20, tapi kalau terbelanja RM30, maka kita kena denda RM10 contohnya. Like benda-benda yang kreatif sebenarnya. Like kita boleh jalankan. Bambu sebenarnya ada tip-tip ni dalam satu konsep yang panggil dia simpan challenge. Simpan challenge ni mendedahkan 30 tip praktikal yang boleh dilakukan oleh sesiapa pun, dan insya-Allah mereka akan dapat melihat sebenarnya boleh simpan.
Well, we hope that the interviews today on planning for your retirement and tips on starting a business were useful. Ringgit Sense will be going on a break for a few weeks as we plan for more personal finance stories to help you. While we're off the air, you can still go to our Facebook page, Ringgit Sense TV3, to watch all our previous interviews to learn about the essential lessons of planning for your future. I'm Azara Tagaya. Remember to save and invest wisely.